The Never Quit Podcast, sponsored and hosted by Quotes Jungle, with your host, Quote.
Welcome to the Never Quit Podcast. In the studio live with me, I have Shawn Barnett. How you doing, my man?
How's it going, Quote? Good to be here.
Thank you for coming. This is a visual and audio podcast, so explain to the people who can't see you who you are as a man.
I'm a child of God as man, but for the folks that's on earth, if you might want to say, I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm an uncle, I'm a cousin, I'm a friend, I'm a best friend. I've probably been a bad friend at times, but at the end of the day, I'm just a decent man. What I do is I work with the youth. I teach firearms, how to be safe with firearms. I'm big on firearms. I run a company called Barnett Firearms. That's habit.
You're fine.
Barnett Firearms, my online store. And, I do a lot of things. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a certified personal trainer, strength and conditioning, fit coach, life coach. And I'm what my wife's grandmother says is I have scatterbrain. I'm everywhere. So I am a man of many traits. So I sum it all up saying I'm a child of God because he's gifted me all of my gifts. So that's who I am.
Where does that motivation come from? Because I've known you for years. Explain to the people why you've always been that way.
I'm my mom's only child. I have 5 uncles in the state of Colorado. I'm from Colorado, so my family's foundation is Texas. I have 5 uncles, 2 aunts that I never met because they died when they were much younger. I'm my mom's only child. My biological donor was a Rolling Stone. So I got siblings everywhere else. But for the most part, I created my family. So I'm not a person that says blood is thicker than water, because my family is my true family as far as I'm concerned. We don't come from the same blood, but they are my brothers, they're my cousins. And if I say you family, you family. So, but where it comes from, my upbringing, I learned from each one of my 5 uncles. One was a family man, one was a thief, one can dance, one was quiet, and one was plumb crazy coming back from the military. And once as a kid watching them grow up,
Mm-hmm.
and watching them mature, you see different scenarios, and I learned why through those 5 men showed me how to move. I had relatives go to prison, and I saw how that affected my mom and my grandmother. So I said I'll never cause them that pain. So that took me away from doing anything negative, anything that's going to put me in jail,
Mm-hmm.
I got to stay away from. I did have some bad habits that I had to trim out because I was near that path. But seeing them go to prison, that and the cause and effect shut it down. My quiet uncle,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was quiet until I found out why. His best friend was his sister, which was my aunt, and that passed away. So he was quiet after that.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to the store. I see a cloud of dust of these cats boxing. They had gloves on. They boxing. They going, and I don't see until I get closer. And I see when I get closer, it's my uncle Steve. He moving. I mean, I was like, oh, this dude he can get it. Okay. So I learned just because you're quiet don't mean you can't fight. Doesn't mean you're not dangerous. I said, oh. So he moves in silence. I got my Uncle Charlie, and man, he could sell you your shirt. He could sell you your own shirt. He has the gift of gab. Now he be lying sometimes, or a lot of
A
times.
lot of time.
And I chose to turn that the other way around. I do have the gift of gab,
Okay.
but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Now, I might be harsh or whatever, but I'm same concept. I just flipped it on the side.
Mhm.
But and all of them train. Most of them they always seem to stay in shape and work out, except for my two oldest uncles. And the
Okay.
one I take after my uncle Kurt, he's the family guy. He's the one that most of y'all know my personality of family first.
Okay.
Make sure your family is straight. Make sure they're taken care of. I got that from my Uncle Kurt. Even though he eventually got, locked up, nothing came before the family.
Mhm.
And he had some negative traits that I learned and flipped him over to positive. I'm gonna keep that to himself. So now my Uncle Tony, he's the one that went to the military. And he came back a little crazy. Nope, he came back a lot of crazy. So my uncle was picking on me, and he told him to stop from the living room. And he came forward. He came down the hallway and said, "Didn't I tell you to leave that boy alone?" And then I just saw my Uncle Steve. Mind you, I just saw my Uncle Steve fight
Mhm.
down. He da-da-da. And my Uncle Tony, he put his cigarette in between these two fingers, and his wrist is broke. And I used to, I was a little curious, but that's just, he from the 60s, 70s, or whatever. And so I told you to leave that boy alone. And then that's all he said. I saw my uncle bow down like a little puppy.
Mhm.
So I said, "Oh, he's the alpha. He might be crazy or whatever, but he is the alpha. He's the oldest of all of my mom's siblings." And then I found out that he'll fight anyone,
Mhm.
anytime, anywhere, in front of the house, down the street, in front of your house, school. That's why he had to go to the military, because he was that guy. He didn't talk stuff. He just go. He had nothing to say. He say something once, and after that first time, it was. So each one of these men, I took a trait from.
Mhm.
My mom's trait I took. My mom worked like 3 jobs, and so all of these things always around me, but I didn't think it settled in until the day I accepted Christ. Everything came to me after I accepted Christ. And the reason I say that is because the day I accepted Christ is the day I got shot. I got shot at the age of 12. So you would think that would deter me away from guns, but it didn't. So I accepted Christ at 11 in the morning, got shot at 6 p.m. And I was like, I don't know if I'm being tested, but this is some BS. Like, I don't know what's going on, but all right. So in the hospital, and during that time, and from that point, I took everything I knew, and I had to make a choice. And uh, my choice is to go with it, fight. And they asked me on 9 News, what would you do? What would you do different or whatever? I just I said I wish I had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I still, to this day, don't know who shot me.
If you're comfortable, you please tell the people and describe the incident when you got shot.
Oh, always. That is my testimony. That is my testimony in life. 1988. That sounds like a long time. Almost sound like uphill both ways. 1988, July 1st, I got shot. At 11 in the morning, I accepted Christ. Normal routine, go home. Then I go to boxing practice I was boxing for 20th Street Gym. I was trying to box. I was trying to figure something out. So, all right, let's go. I've done little martial arts here, there, okay. So that particular day, we sparred. I sparred with someone much better than me. Kind of got beat up on a little bit. We went swimming, and then we started walking I started by myself. So I was walking home, and I went down this alley behind this bar called the Punch Bowl off of Broadway. I want to say It's Broadway in California, maybe, or Spruce. It's just one street over. So, and walking behind it, across this parking lot, I heard a shot. My hand went to my side. Let's rewind. I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. I was throwing rocks at cats. I didn't like cats.
Okay.
And I was being bad. So I was throwing rocks at cats. So this is why I think at the same time I think I was getting shot. I got shot because I was throwing rocks at cats. So I don't know. But I mean, it was a crazy way of thinking as a kid. So I heard the first pop. My hand goes to my side. I see blood. I took off. That was the first instinct. So I took off. I see it just like a movie. 1, 2, second shot. I got hit in the knee and my right leg. Everything collapsed. My whole lower nervous system just collapsed. So I hit the ground. I started scooting up under a car. I see this lady look out of a window, which I thought the building was abandoned. I don't know, but so I start going, please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me. Because I thought it was her. I guess she called the police or whatever, they came. But before her description, she seen somebody in a brown uniform, like a type of security uniform. But that's it. So whatever I think I got shot with a 22 rifle or 20 something. So they still don't know who shot me. The police came. This is when I found out that if you get shot, they ain't gonna do nothing for you. But ask you questions that you can't answer. Well, you might be able to, but I'm yelling at them like, help me. They standing over me while I'm bleeding. But getting older, they were doing there's nothing they could have done. Looking back. But at that moment, the hell you just standing there looking at me for? So that changed everything. Everything. It changed how I looked at everything. Fear. I wasn't afraid of anyone from that point. That's when I started going aggressively against bullies. I got to a fight with an 8th grader because I got shot right before I went while going to the 6th grade, the summer of going to my 6th grade. So 12, going into the 6th grade. And I got into a fight with an 8th grader right after that. No, right before that. Right before that. And while boxing, and he beat me up because I didn't fight back. I was afraid of his size. And then when I went home and didn't see any bruises, my instigating friends was like, he want to fight you tomorrow. And this is where this comes from. This is when he want to fight you tomorrow. And I'm at the end of the corner. I'm not doing no instigating. I'm just standing there, holding on to a tree. And they pointing at me. I have absolutely no idea what they're saying. Other than they were like, we're going to set it up for tomorrow. I was in agreement with that. So in front of my home church, Anchor of Hope, was where I was attending Sky's the Limit as a camper. And a camp I later become a counselor at. But in front of the church, waiting on the bus, a circle forming, and I'm in the circle like let's get it. He hit me like he's picking out. Well, I got like 2 hits in, and then they broke it up. But that first hit threw me all off balance. I was like, but I didn't care whether I lost or won that. That was the moment. It was like I learned that from that point forward, respect is the most important piece. And as long as you know I'm not afraid, you're gonna walk around me differently. Like you could talk stuff, but you know that we can get it. And if you want it, let's go. Or if I come, it's not gonna be there's no need to be surprised. You keep saying, well, what is it? And it's not to win. So I learned this a long time ago. Winning was pointless. Winning helped as its stats amongst your friends. Like, so you do have to win some, as in you just can't be walking around getting beat up growing up on the east side of Denver and Park Hill. So, people say, where you from? East side, whatever. I'm from East side and Park Hill because I was raised in both areas. So I got homeboys on both sides of the whatever track you say because I've never banged. So I gave respect where respect was due, and I earned mine by protecting my family and holding them accountable. But yeah, being shot, that changed everything. That changed the whole game for me. Hope I answered the question on that.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about how important self-defense is to you.
Self-defense is life. So I've been coaching for almost 30 years, 28 years, coaching football, basketball. And within that, you teach a lot of life aspects, and you have to be violent. So, but to be violent, you have to understand violence in a sense to teach that aggression. I mean, boxing's a sport, but you have to have an aggression. You don't have to be mean to box. You can be the nicest guy in the world, but you have to find that when it's time to challenge and fight through it and
Absolutely.
push. So self-defense is the same concept, except for it's out of reaction of fear to prepare yourself. So my mom, I love my mom. She's not perfect, but she's a beast. She worked all the time, 3 jobs, whole nine. We have our ups and downs, just like any relationship in the Black community of, you could say, trauma or not knowing of how to be a parent, but she did what she knew. So she worked, and I saw my mom get hit. I saw her get physically abused, and then I learned some stuff that she got raped with me in the bed, and they threatened me. So, got some. There's, when I learned that, I said, "Oh, nah, can't let this repeat itself within my family," type deal. That person got taken care of. From what I heard, by one of my many uncles. They caught wind of it, and from my understanding, they handled it accordingly. But I mean, that was family justice. I don't know if you want to say that piece, but once I found that out, never again. I stood up to my mom's boyfriend when I was about 6. That's the first time he stepped to me. My mom stepped up. She defended me, but she wouldn't defend herself, and it didn't make sense to me. So I swore to myself, once I got old enough and big enough, nobody was going to touch my mama again. So I ran into that person, and I was going to get him. I was 16. I was going to get him. He knocked on the door, but for him to knock on the door means he was invited. And so I felt disrespected. So my mama told me to move. Well, I was going to leave, and I was told he was coming. He's coming. I said, huh? I was about to go kick over my brother. And I went and grabbed my nunchucks, because by this time, 16, I done did a few more. After getting shot, boxing was taken off the list by my mama. No boxing, so different arts, a little bit of martial arts here and there. Haven't really completed. But I went and got my nunchucks, stuffed them in my back, sat in the chair in front of the screen door. Doors open, I'm just sitting there. I was supposed to be somewhere, have absolutely no idea. I didn't mean anything. Revenge. My time is, I'm 16. I've been lifting. I've been fighting in the streets. I'm ready. And if either way it go, if I lose, either way it go, I'm getting.
I feel you.
This dude shows up, knocking on the door. I get up. I walk to the door. He's knocking on the screen door. Bam, 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 bam. I'm just staring at him. I want him to open the door without permission. Rules of engagement. Open the door without permission. I've been suspended from school so much that I understood if I make the first move, I was the aggressor and whole 9. So he don't have permission to enter my house. Grab that door. I'm getting you. Just grab the door. I'm so ready. Man. My mom said, "Who's at the door?" I ain't saying nothing. When when she said, "Move, boy, and let him in," that means that told me she invited him. And I was like, the disrespect. This dude used to hit on you. I laughed. Boom. I don't even think I came home that night. So, but I was ready. That told me he was a grown man. He might have tossed me around, whatever, I don't know, but I was definitely ready. And so with that, the self-defense in me, I think that was the beginning, because anyone around me had to know how to fight in some form, fashion. Or at 16, it's your boys. We just get into scuffles. But once I became an adult, I came across women that would flinch. You reach the wrong way. No, so I teach them something, and that just became my thing. You need to know. Now, my girls, I have, between me and my wife, we got 9 kids. Okay. 3 adults, 3 teenagers, and we adopted our 3 nieces. Every last one of my kids is violent. I made sure they were violent. Not negatively violent, self-defense violent, aggressive. If somebody puts their hands on you, you defend yourself. We don't start trouble, but if you come looking for it, you found it, and the intention is finishing it. But it's not fight to prove yourself. It's fight to get away. I don't need you trying to fight as a young lady. I don't need you trying to fight a man to prove something. No, you need to get away. There's nothing to prove. So we've done a little different things. When I met my wife, and she had an unsavory relationship, and she told me about it. So the first thing I did is I taught her how to choke me out. I'm like, I'm bigger than you, so this is what you do. Or how to be submissive, all the little tricks of the trade to let somebody allow themselves to be vulnerable, so you can choke the dog out of them and leave them on the ground, whatever. If they're trying to harm you, you have the right to defend yourself. So self-defense is life. I heard from a terrible coach. Terrible coach. He knew his X's and O's. Football, he knows football. He knows football. But as in communicating it to the youth, I don't think he understood where he was supposed to be. But he had a great quote. He had a great quote on his email. And you can always learn from someone on how to do things, how not to do things. So I can't say that it was terrible. Let's just say we didn't see eye to eye on ethics. But the quote that I don't know who wrote it. He didn't write it, but football is life on grass. And it is. You can replace every rule in football with the action in life. Referees, police, coaches, uncles, adults, your dad, your mom, personal trainer, medical, co-workers on the field, people you like, you don't like, you can't stand, cheerleaders, if you want to add them into it, work wife, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And it takes work to move. You have to work to gain progress. And sometimes you get unfair calls, which in life, you don't always get the fair shake. So self-defense is the same thing. It's life. It's you don't have to walk in fear, but recognize that it's there, the possibility that something can happen. And if you have the possibility, then you are somewhat ready. You'll never be 100% ready, because that means you're walking around like, I mean, you can't walk around like that. I mean, that'd make the person who's calm nervous. Like,
sit down. Right. Yeah, sit down.
And then they gonna miss out on, it was him, but what you doing? So just being prepared. So self-defense is it's mental and physical. So, and once you can get somebody to train, when you train and you do it regular and you make it a natural reaction, They can be afraid, but their body does what you told it to do.
Let's talk about how important forgiveness is.
It's the most important thing in the world if you want growth. And it's not for you. I mean, it's not for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not whoever you're talking to. Me going up to you saying, can you forgive me? Asking for forgiveness is for me.
Mm-hmm.
The forgiveness is for me. If you choose not to forgive me, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, if you want personal growth and you are truly apologetic, I don't like using the word sorry.
I'm not a fan of that word.
Yeah, so if you're truly apologetic for whatever you've done or caused or been a part of, and you ask for forgiveness from that person that it was the cause and effect to, and they don't forgive you, that's on them.
Mm-hmm.
If you did it genuinely, wholeheartedly, let it go. It's done. And walk away. Now, if they come back around, cool. They don't, cool. You got to move. You got to move on. Because so I love me some me. And that's it.
That was my next segue. Let's talk about your phrase and you using that. Love me some me. That's one of your taglines. Talk about where that came from and why that gives other people motivation. Me hearing it, I know why, but talk about what that means to you.
That is, I picked that up. It's not mine. I did not create that phrase. Okay. And I'll give props where props is due. I heard it. You know what? Honestly, the first person I heard say it was Deion Sanders in an interview. He said it talking about Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens created it but he was saying it more as in a conceited fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Terrell, because Deion, I saw it on Sports Center. Deion said, "I love that brother." I remember the quote because Deion is one of my idols, and I look forward to meeting this brother. But he's in Colorado, so we mean just
the energy,
like,
put it out there.
Yeah,
he's going to a book signing across the street from East High School soon for his book release. I'll get you the info.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Just might have to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So
on accident.
Yeah, it won't be no accident. Like, hey, $100 if you let me get to the front of the line now. It's only on the side out. But Terrell Owens, I love that brother's work ethic. I do. And then he got on my favorite team. I'm an Eagles fan. He left the Cows and came to where he needed to be.
Okay.
And then my quarterback choked in the Super Bowl. But I agree with him. I'm a Donovan McNabb fan, but he choked, in my opinion. But Terrell Owens stated that, and I heard it, and I was teaching a step team at the time. I had a step team at Columbia Middle School,
okay.
And I needed something. I needed a theme, and I was looking for a theme, and I heard that, and I said, there it is. That's it right there. I love me some me. But I got to put a spin on it. Mm-hmm. It's not the same. It's not. And so what I took from it is I created a whole process, 30-day process with that of how to love me some me.
Okay.
And about 20 years ago now, my high schoolers, I taught that to them, and all my ladies came out strong, and my guys came out very strong to this day. They still communicate with me. They still reach out to me on social media. I've even given some away at their weddings. So all on me to me is it's a way of life. It's not just people are like, I love me some me. Oh, you're conceited. No, I'm not conceited. I'm convinced. So there's a difference.
Absolutely.
And I can't be conceited because I'm a God-fearing man. And I can't put myself before Jesus. I can't put myself before God. If I put myself before God, then that's me being all about me. And I can't be a follower of God. I can't be a follower of Christ. I can't serve him being about me. Because service is service. It's not for me, it's for him. He works through me to serve his purpose. Am I perfect in that? No, but I do it in my own way that I feel that me giving back to the community and different things. But I love me some me I use everywhere. I love me some me. And it's why not love me? God made me. Even if I have a twin, there's only one me. There's only one you. You ain't gotta like who I am. I like who I am. And it's funny how things come out later in life and you don't see it right then and there when it's in your face, like happiness. I'm not happy and I'm sad. My wife doesn't make me happy. My girlfriend or my boyfriend doesn't make me happy. It's not their responsibility. Step your ass up and take care of yourself. It's, well, not in that sense, but step up and love yourself. Because if you love yourself, if you know how to love you, you can show someone else how to love and treat you. And you won't accept anything less than that. You will not. You will not accept anything less than what you deserve. And some people feel bad, like when you do something, when a long time ago, everybody's probably been through it, as in when you buy yourself something and you might feel bad because you could have did something for someone else, or it's that whatever. That jacket was sweet and I look good in it. It made me feel good. And I did it for me. You know what? Take a picture and stay mad. So every time you look at that picture, be mad at me because I look phenomenal. Hey, and I don't like negative energy. So, and when you start growing and understanding yourself, will you stay perfect and not have a bad day? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm not going to accept you to treat me no less than what I'm going to treat myself. Demand that respect. I teach my daughters, I teach my sons the same exact. I mean, you have your little bias a little bit. My girls, I need them to love themselves. I am a male. And growing up, I tell my kids and I tell the world, I was a whore. And
I didn't know if you wanted to go to the Black Rain days, Purple Passion. I don't know if I'm saying too much. Hey. It's a kid show.
Oh, listen. No, I was terrible. I told my kids I was terrible. And my job is to make my son better than me. I wasn't taught don't have sex until you get married. My mama I was sitting next to the couch, sitting next to her on the couch, and she straight up said to me, I was 14 years old, I'll know when you have sex. Huh? I'll know when you have sex. So in the back of my head, that's it. I didn't learn not to have sex before marriage until I went to a Christian camp, until I went to like a Sunday school at night. I learned from someone else. In my household and how things were brought, I didn't learn about God in my house. I didn't know that my mom at one point studied Muslim or Islamic belief, or my grandmother was a Jehovah's Witness at one point, and I didn't know any of this at all. Nothing. I learned about God by going to church with my neighbor, and the church they took me to is on a Sunday. First church, because I used to go to with some friends at a Sunday school agape church at night, and I was learning some things. But my first official going to church on a Sunday was Anchor of Hope, Pastor Roberts. God rest his soul, he passed. But I've been there since I got shot. Since I was 12, and I'm going to be 48 next month. I'm almost 50, and I say that with pride. I look at the camera right there. I'm about to be 48. I got shot at 12. I wasn't supposed to make it past 16. I wasn't supposed to make it to 18. I wasn't supposed to make it to 20 or 21. And I wasn't supposed to make it to 24. I am a live statistic coming from the East Side, Park Hill. A few unfortunate firearm incidences that I was lucky enough not to get hit with anything at those times. I wasn't a target, but it happens. Like you got shootings today, and folks is just shooting just because. But back then, they had a reason.
Let's talk about your T-shirt and what you got going on with that.
I'm proud of this shirt. This is my second business. I haven't given up on my first business yet. My first business is Black Rain. I have created a clothing line a long time ago that I think I need to revisit. But this right here is Barnett Firearms. I have an online firearm store. I teach concealed weapons classes. My website is Barnett, www.barnett-firearms.com. And it's an online store. If you can't find it on there, send me a message. I'll find what you need 9 times out of 10. But that's not my strength. The firearms piece it's nice. And at the current moment, not too lucrative because of the state and things of that nature. We're limited. My strength is teaching safety. I'm big on safety. Safety is the number one thing, even if you don't have a firearm. Some people say guns, firearms, but if you don't have one, cool. Still take a concealed weapons class. Take a class and learn it. My classes are a little different. Like I see different pricings, and you have these concealed weapons classes online, $60 here, $30 here. I charge $80 for my classes, and I have a little twist to mine though. But $80 for my class, you have my contact as long as I breathe. And I send you off with information. You're just not leaving with a certificate, because you will leave with a certificate to certify so you can take it to whatever you need to do to get your license. Because a CCW class doesn't license you. It gives you when you go to apply for your license, they want to know that you've taken a class, and that certificate certifies your class, certifies that you had taken a class. So I'm big on teaching. I'm big on safety. I teach kids. I teach kids how to shoot, as long as they're cognitive enough. But I teach the parents to make sure if you're going to have a firearm in your home, how to properly keep it safe, and that your kids should know about it. But know your kid. And if you're not a very disciplined parent, then you have to know your temperament of your kid. Some kids don't need to know how to shoot, or they need to understand the safety part of it, but they don't need to know where you keep it. So, excuse me, I'm big on the safety side. So that is my strong point. I'm pushing my classes a little stronger. And my twist. My twist is I have friends who sell in-home shooting little things. And I'll start selling them also, but he has body armor and key. But I'll come to your house and teach you.
Okay. So
how I do it, and putting this out there, people gonna try to, pick up on what I do, and it's someone starts it. So between me and my guy Key, we already discussed this, so you heard it here first. Shawn Barnett, Coach Shawn, what I'm known as. All right. So I come to your house, but what I'll do is, you're the host. So I'm not charging you. I need you to have at least 5+ people there.
Okay.
That I'm charging to be there, and give me a clear, open space. And if you don't have a TV, or let me know what you have, I can set up. I can bring my laptop or whatever, and I will come teach you there, because my class is 4 hours at max. It might go shorter than that, but at max it's 4 hours, because I got to get you all the information. And I don't bring live ammo. So I can be in your home, and I'll tell you, if you do have it, you need to put that away. So that right there is, I'm mobile.
Okay.
I need to put that out on the social media parts, on that being mobile, but trying to figure out, I need to stop worrying about, somebody that has more, trying to jump on that tag before me. Like, no, it's out there. So that's why we're talking about it right now.
Yep, just go. I feel you.
So my hesitation has been holding me back, sticking to treading water. So I done jumped in. Now I'm not drowning. I feel like I jumped in the ocean and ended up in the desert because I ain't got no water. It's dry out here right now. I'm trying to create me lines of income, and that lines of income is one water. And right now, I only got one line coming, and it's not coming like I need it to come either. So it's self-employment. It's a struggle, but it's worth it.
You've done lots of things. I want you to share with the audience one of your craziest stories as being a security guard or in life. One that sticks to your mind.
Man, the only one we've had brawls. I've had a couple of brawls in nightclubs doing security. I've trained a lot of guys in nightclub security, and but I've earned a lot of respect because a lot of folks that came into the club already knew me, so I didn't have too much trouble. And be like, "Oh, that's Shawn," and they just be cool. Now they might get into it outside, but they get their respect. No, we ain't gonna fuck up your shit. I was like, it ain't mine, but I appreciate that because that means if you start something, I got to get into it with you, and the respect was there. So I had a couple of brawls. Only one stands out. Which one is the recent where I kind of lost it? Personally, I lost it because I ain't been in a fight in so long that you know how you think you forgot how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like you haven't just because I've been doing security so long. I ain't had to put nobody out in a minute. And this brother from New York, I'm gonna put it out there. This dude from New York. I was at the old Cash Bar. Cash Bar is no longer. My man Superman runs the security team, and I didn't like this dude. He didn't like me because I pat him down. He just bring his knife in. I pat him down. I find it. He get mad. Well, they know me. I don't care if they know you. Who? That doesn't matter to me. You need to take it. Okay, cool. Mind you, this first incident, he don't like me. He mugged me every time he come in. Cool. I'm not here for you to like me, but okay. So this dude, he comes in. I see it's him and his wife or whatever, because that's all the IDs, whatever. It's him and his wife, or I guess it's his wife. That's how I heard him presenting it. And all right, okay, cool. Towards the night, I see him tripping with her, like kind of, on the radio, like, yo, Soup, I need you to come get your guy. He tripping, because if I approach him, he gonna trip with me, and it's gonna, when you're an agitation to a situation, don't add to it. Like, nah. And his wife is talking to some other woman, and tripping, and I'm observing, like, And I was like, Soup, where you at? He ain't like. So I had to step in, and right when I stepped in, this dude shoved his wife, like he shoved her. I caught her. I moved her. Yo, you got to go. And when I moved her and got to go, he said, fuck you, and swung on me. I said, and everything kind of went black for a second, because I remember ducking, and then all I seen was flashes, but it wasn't flashes, it was me tapping his face. I was like, that. And that's what I thought I saw. And he fell back, and he reached in his pocket, because this is a different time, because I wasn't at the door. He popped a knife, and I lost it. When I say I lost it, I lost it. I forgot I was security. I lost it. I grabbed a chair, and that chair felt light as hell. I was about to beat the dog out of this man. Because he pulled a weapon. It's man on man. You swung on me, you found out you couldn't keep up with the hands, and you popped a knife. So the disrespect was instant. And they had to they grabbed him, then they grabbed me, like I was in the club partying, like they grabbed me. I was like, nah, and when I was like, this MF pulled a knife. And they took the chair out of my hand. I was like, you popping knives? I'm popping something, and it ain't no knife. I was like, yeah, you popping knife? And man, even thinking about it right now, I start getting hot. But they get him towards the door now, and I'm still trying to get him. They're like, Shawn, chill out. Get out. My boy, We go back, we play ball together, and he's an officer.
Mhm.
He whispered in my ear, "As God is my witness." And I saw him and I told him I had to thank him when I saw him.
Mhm.
He whispered, "I'm irate. Wait till I'm gonna get you. It's on. You want to pop nines? I got something to pop. I got something to pop." And he comes up. I'm yelling. He comes up and whispers, "That's not what we do."
Mm.
It shut me down instantly. I mean, instantly. I shut down like I got the Vulcan grip. Like somebody hit me with a drug. Like my anger, everything just said, "Stop." I just stopped. I said, "You right." I didn't even turn completely around. Like, "You right." He brought me back to my center.
Mhm.
And I went out, I walked off, and I go out in the balcony. I see him outside talking about, "Yeah, tell him to come outside." I was about to jump the gate. I was like, "You know what? I got you," because he don't understand that. I was controlled because I always keep my sidearm on me,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Okay, cool, all right, we'll see this again." I saw him later.
Mhm.
But that was probably the wildest because of that one moment. That man my boy brought me back down to my center by using just monotone. That's not what we do. He reminded me of the man I grew myself to be,
Mhm.
and just that's not what we do. We don't lose control at that moment. But you're not perfect. It does happen. But he gave me some words that I understood out the gate. But I ran into that brother again. I ran into him again, and I was doing Uber too. I could have got him. He didn't see me.
Mm.
I could have got him. He ain't seen me. Oh, I could have got him. But I made a sound decision because the second time I saw him at somebody else's bar, I was a patron,
Mm.
and this brother he saw me and he went in the bathroom. I'm like, okay. I walked off, didn't think nothing of it, and he gonna come back like, "Hey, come in the bathroom with me." Huh?
Mm.
What?
Mm-mm.
And then he put his hand in his pocket. I said, "Oh." I got pissed off, but I was under control now. He put his hand in his pocket. You done already popped your knife once. Oh, that's what we talking about.
Mm.
I looked across, saw security. I called security over. I was like, "We need to get put out." He said, I told him, me and him need to get put out because he's trying to threaten me with a knife. And I was all right. And I was a little irate, not over. I was like, "Nah, I'm about to get him. Like, we need to get out." They made me leave.
Mm.
I said, "Cool." Went outside and wasn't my best moment. This is before I became an instructor.
Mhm.
Um, I was I I was outside pacing in front of the door,
Mhm.
waiting. My wife told me, "You need to go tell the police." I said, "I ain't telling them nothing. They're gonna find out."
Mm.
And I kept pacing. And she said, "You need to tell them." So I went up to the police and I was like, "This dude threatened me with a knife, and I'm waiting for him outside." That's all I told him.
Mhm.
And then he's looking at me like, okay. I was like, "I'm just letting you know that it's going down." They were looking at me. I was like, "I'm pacing." So, oh, I forgot the main part beforehand. The reason he pushed his wife is because she found out who the mistress was,
Mm.
and she got to tripping. And because when I'm pacing outside of the current location, the mistress pulls up in the car, and I told her, I said, "Where your boy? But you gonna need to get a black dress too." I said, "So let him know. You gonna need a black dress too. His wife already gonna have one. You need a black dress too." I didn't see him, and he snuck out. He
Mhm.
snuck out. He never came out. Mind you, I stayed. Like when I say I stayed, my
Mhm.
wife had an attitude because she was in the car. I was like, Nah, I'm waiting to let out.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I have people who love me, and that some youngins was like, "Hey, what's up, What's up? What's up? How you doing? What's up? What's up, family?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, big bro? You good? What's up, big bro?" I was like, I had a situation. Hey, what you want us to do? I don't want y'all to do nothing. Who is it? Nah.
Mm-mm.
Nah, because they don't have no control. They didn't have no control. They're like, they do it in the club. Like, nah, we ain't got that kind of time. So knowing who you are comes back to I love me some me.
Mm-hmm.
Every little piece around my whole wide of everything I got going on that I'm trying to narrow down, but everything comes back to you knowing who you are. And I knew who I am. I know who I am. At that moment, I had anger, and I wanted to solve it. I want to rectify this. This dude needs to get to business.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to tell myself to go back to that question you asked about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
I forgave the situation. I know he wasn't man enough to come to me like that. So I let it go. And I let it go when I saw him again at IHOP.
Mm-hmm.
I did a job. I went to IHOP by myself. I heard his voice. New York accent made me peek over my shoulder. I saw him. I was like, all right, I got my side on. He run up. You might stick me. You're gonna turn into some cheese over here real quick. But I was like, I can get him. There ain't nobody to hold me back. There ain't nobody to put me out. IHOP ain't gonna do nothing. So I know he saw me. He never. So I'm facing the cash register. So when he pays for it, he's walking out. He's paying for his food. He was talking to the people behind me, so I know he saw me. And I'm looking at him. I'm eating my food, looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave myself some options. If he says something, I'm getting him. If he says anything, I'm getting him. But we get to find out what kind of car he drives. I'm going through all these things in my head. Like, if he don't say nothing, and if he don't mug me, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Staring at him the whole time. I'm just eating I haven't taken my eyes off him. He turns his back to me to go out. He only looked back because the whole time he walking out the windows, I guess he don't want none. He really don't want it because there's no security.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one to stop me. There's nothing in between us. It's man on man.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
And the final time I saw him one more time, and he walked up on me in the club. Hey, we good? I looked at him. Oh no, we good? I was ready to slide him right there. Like, ain't no way. I said, okay. So this is years back. So with that years back, I learned the one part that I had to tighten up on me for personal growth is, yeah, you get angry and you do have control. But when you really want somebody and you don't want nobody to stop you, go at it with the boxing mat. Go at it with a physical sport mentality.
Yeah.
Smile and punch him in the face. Period, point blank. But that's how I started though, because I broke up the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Peaceful. Yo, man, you gotta go. I didn't say get the bro. You gotta go. He pushed his woman. Like, bro, you gotta go, and you decide to swing on me, and then found out that I'm not her.
Mm-hmm.
And then that fight part, I had to ask a bartender what happened. Well, he swung on you. You ducked, and you pieced him up a few times. He was starting to fall, and that's when he grabbed the knife, or he pulled the knife. I said, oh. So I did see it. It just went so fast. I ain't been in a conflict. I hadn't been in a fight in a minute. So I guess I was like, your skills don't go.
Mm-hmm.
They just sit dormant. So to that old saying that, what is it? Just because just because I'm asleep don't mean the beast. You don't know what and how to has it. Just because you're quiet doesn't mean the beast is no longer in you.
Mm.
So it's like, all right, mine came out and he brought it out real quick. But the knife thing, I think I just took personal, and you can't take security jobs personal. But when he pulled it out on me, it was on me. Now, I don't even know you like that.
Oh, yeah.
You from New York. Because it's different in New York. It is different in New York. Take your ass back. So, they don't, now that, thank God their gun laws has changed. You can carry concealed there now because they were in violation of the Constitution.
Okay.
And it got passed in a few states that you can't tell these people they cannot. And I was like, all right, okay, cool. Still don't want to be. I'll visit. I can't live there, but I didn't like going there because I couldn't carry.
Felt naked.
Man.
And out of towner.
I'm not afraid of the hood. People be like, oh, you carry a gun? No, I know what my folk do and why they do it. Well, not today's day, because you got kids right now shooting because your breath stink. I mean, these kids is weird, man. You got 13-year-olds pulling because you don't want to use these hands. So it's a little different, but people ask me why I carry. I say, because I go to Walmart. What do you mean? Because I go to Walmart. This is why I carry. I don't know who coming in here tripping. So, and that's and my kids and my girls. I can't always be there. So that's why the self-defense, the self-love, the self-protection, everything I do all connects to one another. All because daddy can't always be there. For my son or daughter, I can't always be there. At least I know you have something. I've given you something that you can take forward and give to my nieces, my nephews, my grandbabies. You could pass this forward. What I've taught you physically, how to defend yourself, taught you how to love yourself. These are all, once I give you knowledge, I can't take it back. I can't tell you, yo, I know I told you to duck when somebody swings at you. Forget that. Don't even think about that. Let it go. You're like, what? Yeah. I can't take it back. Once it's been spoken, that knowledge has been given. It's given. Correct. So it's now what you do with it. Now that's on you.
When you hear the term "never quit," what comes to your mind?
It's not an option. But then I guess it depends on what it is too. 90, I would say 90. Let's give it a number. 98, 97 things you shouldn't quit on. You started, you should finish. But if you're married or in an abusive relationship, you need to quit that. If somebody has to put their hands on you to get their point across, you should quit that. If your life is in danger, you need to quit that. But most things, if anything is detrimental to your life, you need to leave it alone. If it's just not good for you. If you know it's just not going to be good for you or your family, you know there's no positive end to it, you should quit that. But I love my wife. I've been married for 17, well, this year in June will be 17 years. We've been together 21. February 14th, May 21. And I don't celebrate Valentine's Day like that. I used it to my benefit when I was younger, but I don't celebrate it. So my wife, 17 years.
Or for 21.
Yeah. That lady's my best friend. So I married my best friend. That's why we've been together. Because I done did some bullshit. And so quitting is not an option. I gave my wife total autonomy to leave me. With all the BS I put her through. I gave her full, leave me, you just can't take my kids. Because we had an agreement beforehand. You can leave me, but my babies will always grow up to their daddy. Period. That was just me wanting to be a father all my life. And no, they will never wake up to another man. Or we're going to have a problem. And if they come visit you, got a boyfriend, he ain't coming over this weekend. Because they see another, it's going to be a problem. So let's just avoid that. So quitting is not an option. We don't believe in divorce. But I did tell her, if ever in life I ever feel that I got to raise my hand to you, it's a wrap. No ifs, ands, or buts. And that's not hitting her. That's, I received the feeling that I had to raise my hand to my woman. If you have to put the fear of God in your woman physically, you are a weak man mentally because you're resorting to physical. Now, some people are like, excuse me, some people feel like that. You're weak if you, no, disciplining your kid and is totally different than disciplining your wife. I should never have to discipline my wife. I might hold her accountable on something and we talk about it and make sure, and go through it. But my kids have never, ever seen me even aggressively come at my wife unless I'm joking and playing. And my kids are trained to attack. I mean, if I go wrestle my wife, if I grip her up in any fashion, my kids attack me. Period. And that's what I told them to do. If I go grab one of my nieces, if I grab my daughter, if I grab in my household, if they see me attack somebody, playing around, wrestling regardless, it is subconscious attack. We don't let anyone harm our family. And I do it for a reason. I do it for mental rehearsal, So when we had a situation I told you about, we had a situation and it didn't happen like that. My kids got a little scuffle and it didn't, I must have flashed. Like, no, we got to remember the training. The training is for a reason. It ain't for fun. It's fun when we do it, but no. So self-preservation and taking care of your family, and then you can help others because when they see you move, right, they want to know how you move. And quitting, if I quit, then everything I told you is BS. As far as I'm concerned, you quit. That's like quitting on yourself. You stop loving yourself. You quit. The only time you should quit something is if it's going to be detrimental to your life. Then that was something you probably shouldn't even started. So if it's detrimental to your life, and men, well, there are some men that be getting beat up by women, and there are same-sex relationships. Men, women. It don't matter. If someone's putting their hands on you because they don't agree with you or they're trying to control it, you need to walk away. Hands down. Or if they're not willing to go get help with that. But if you're willing to stick it out, that's a dangerous move. Go take a self-defense class. Go get perfected. So when they do run up, you be like, bop, bop, bop. You can't get it no more. I'm what? But that's a different route. But at least, you're fighting for what you love at the same time. But don't put yourself in a negative situation where you end up hurting that person severely, and then now you're in prison. So quitting's not an option.
I hear you. Before we wrap it up, I want to ask you one last question. What do you think is the most kindest thing a human can do while you're here on this earth?
Show you love. Because I am a God-fearing man. And you could say Christian, non-denominational, whatever. I believe that Jesus died for my sins. Or Yeshua, Yahweh, sent his only begotten son. Because there's no J's in Hebrew. And learning as you get older, it's a little confusing. But like I should have been taught this a long time ago.
It's another conversation. Yeah,
but
I get it. Trust me.
So knowing this, I don't care what your faith is. Now, if your faith has been created recently, then we might have a discussion. But whatever your faith is and whatever you do in life, I have no gripe with you. It's not my choice if you're into same-sex relationships, if you're heterosexual, whether I agree with you personally really doesn't matter. I'm not judging you. I don't care what your faith is. I'm not judging you. If you are practicing love, peace, harmony, and protection, protect self and family, You on that page? We good. What's up? How we doing? Hey, where we hanging out? Okay, cool. Now, there's some circles I might, if I don't agree with it from my own personal moral base, cool. But know that I'm not judging you, because only God can judge you. When we die, I stand before God alone. I'm not going to know what he's talking to you about. Maybe it won't matter. Just like I don't care what you think about me. Doesn't matter what you think about me. So why should it matter now? Now, don't force your ideals on me. I'm respecting your space. Respect mine. Don't force it on my kids. Respect my space. I respect yours. But if you're teaching love, harmony, and all the positive things of faith, not that I look different from you, so I hate you. You believe different, so I hate you. God is not hate. God is love. Period.
Word up.
So that's where I stand on that.
You're a man of very many talents and a good energy. We know that, and I know you personally. So why don't you spell out your name and tell the people where they can find you and your website?
My name is Shawn. SHAWN, Barnett.
Let me rudely interrupt you. You don't have no nicknames?
Oh.
I ain't gonna let you sit on here and look absolutely perfect. I almost let you slide out real quick. So let me get an intro of both of those, an outro, I mean.
I don't. Hey, look, I got a street name, and because I always think I'm being watched, they don't have me I've been arrested for missing court and all that, and they be like, "What's your nickname, street name?" Nope, I'm not giving you that information. Do you have any tattoos? You ain't gonna check? Nope, I have none of those either. I don't provide that information. Like, you're asking? Oh, I'm not telling. So,
I'm definitely not saying it.
So it's they call me Coach Shawn, and my old name was Purple Passion, and my boys is making fun of me. And my favorite color is purple, and I give you that. That I had to change that real quick because it was coming across wrong. So, and they had jokes. Now, if you know me and you want to get to know me, you can get my nickname. I love my street name, but that's against the code just to put that information out there. Even though, hey, look, I've never banged. Okay, so you know what? Let's go ahead. All right, this is really hard for me.
12 seconds later.
My folks call me Strat for short for strategy, because I think things through. I've been pretty thorough, especially as a youngin'. I thought a lot of things through. I figured some things out real quick, fast, in a hurry, if it was to get us on stage or to get us out of a situation. Yeah, I love my family. So my family calls me Strategy. And but Strat for short.
Let's go into the segue of your new organization's name and what you are today now.
I see you.
I
see the combo.
I need the exclusive.
Me and my wife been talking about a name. I've been trying to, find a brand for my nonprofit, and sitting here with Mr. DJ Quote, the beat maker. My choice for my name is Strategies Foundation.
Beautiful. Got an exclusive on here. And if you change it, that's fine, but that sounds good to me.
Nah, because I'm about to go pay $50 in about 10 minutes.
This won't be out that fast. I'm fast, but it won't be out that fast.
So, yeah, Strategies Foundation, because just like me, it's a big enough title for me to go whichever way.
Different brands.
Strategically be like, I got businesses that I gotta work out. I got Legacy's Limousines named after my son.
Okay.
For a transportation type company or whatever, just because I'm learning to focus because I'm too sporadic, and the podcast. So I got to get it going.
We're gonna work on that
because,
too.
I'm a life coach, and I believe right now in my lane.
All right, go ahead and give your phone number out then.
Oh,
no,
no! My business number for Barnett Firearms is 720-830-5199. Hit me if you want to set up a private class. Hit me. Discounts go to definitely my women, because I need my women armed and understanding. We can discuss a discount because I need. There's a lot of women out there, and I just heard about a woman who does concealed classes, and I don't hate. There's a lot of money out here for everybody. If I knew her name, I would definitely put her out there. But from my understanding, this young lady goes.
Okay.
So, but I think she's former military. I'm not former military. I'm not going to present that. I'm just a guy who believes that you should be able to protect yourself in your home.
Give that website out one more time.
www.barnett-firearms.com.
This has been another episode of the Never Quit Podcast with my man and close friend and family member, Shawn Barnett. Be sure to find us on all social media, YouTube, etc. Sponsored by Body Armor and Quotes Jungle. Peace.
The Never Quit Podcast, sponsored and hosted by Quotes Jungle, with your host, Quote.